There we go. What is that? What the fuck is that? We were just messaging me like I thought your stream broke, but no, my entire computer just had a stroke. Uh-oh. Oh no. I might have to change a setting. Oh, I see. Moon cycle. Yep. There we go. Hi! Guess what we're playing? We're playing Stardew. You know, the one game I haven't played in, how long? When was the last Stardew stream? April. I haven't played Stardew since April. Let's see if I remember anything. Hi, Snow! Where the fuck am I? Everything is so loud. Where the fuck are you? That's what I'm wondering. Oh, I know where I am. I'm here. Hello. I don't remember half the fucking controls for this game. What is growing here? I'm at the, I'm on Ginger Island. We snuck away from civilization. I'll take them. Ooh. Where the fuck am I? No, it's just I genuinely forgot what I've done in this game for like the past however many months it was. Yeah, let's hope my animals are well taken care of. Shut up. I genuinely did. It's been a while. Nah, but funny enough, I do actually need to head back because I do want to change what my character looks like because I don't fucking look like this anymore. That's how long it's been. I didn't have the short, I didn't fucking chop off all my hair. Thank you. Dementia. It's not dementia, it's just, it's been a hot minute. But also, I just have a shitty memory in general, so, like, nothing... Like, this is normal. Wait, can I grow that tree here? Why do I have an ancient... What is half my inventory? Can I grow this here? Well, we're about to test. If I can, I'm gonna have, like, a partially a fucking, I can tell you this, I remember I'm roommates with Krobus, and I'm somewhat dating Sebastian. It's been a while. And that's what I remember of this game. But I have been talking about starting a new world. Don't disrespect Stardew. Don't disrespect this game. Aggressive Italian. Aggressive Russian. I forgot how fucking insane this is to get items. I need 20, bet. Yo, you alive? Hey. Everything okay? I can't just come see. What the hell does this kid like? Let's pray that no one comes to my my house. I'm thinking, oh fuck, do I have any of those things? Gotcha. I don't have any of the stuff that he likes. Which is kind of surprising. Okay. Oh, hey. Where are you off to? I mean, I'm partially responsible for you now. I have not met you for that. Remember the Dog Cartel? Oh my god, yes! I know. You're still after me. Oh my god. Oh, I almost killed a kid again. We're fine. Kill the kid. No! I'm not gonna kill the kid. That was a fucking misclick on my area. What's here? Trade hut? That might be useful if I want to see. No! I'm not killing the child. He's been through enough. How much is it for this? Motherfucker, why do you... Fuck it. Yes. This will be worth it. I'm not killing it. Enough. Oh, you're lying to me. Fine. I'm sorry that I'm not murdering a kid I've become emotionally attached to since I fucking met the kid. Ooh, don't. No one tell Ray we found a snake skull. No one tell Ray. Do I have TNT? Nope. That just makes a nice ass sound. That won't work. Fuck, the night market's happening. Hi. I literally have no materials. That worked. Thank you, I thought it was gone for. I've been stuck in that cave for months. And I would have gone off the deep end so sugary. I mean, it's fine. I already went there when all the people that I wanted to see are there. I'm been contacted service and Flora Markham Place. Well, I think I should get back to my tent and freshen up. I'm afraid I smell like mushrooms. Hey, you should stop by the tent sometimes. Farewell. Gonna be honest, I did not think that was gonna... Hello? So it... Oh! Oh! Okay, cool. Sorry, these bones? Bones. Is there anything else here? No, alright, cool. Oh, hey, cutscenes. Never forget the day I was playing this and it was just cutscene after cutscene. I was wondering what the fuck this was for. You can see it's quite empty. Can I give you things? Step back my project. So that's where you come in. Why am I the guinea pig? I'm in the bone business, you see. I have a shit ton of bones, my guy. Well, best year in luck. That's all I have. Oh shit. Okay. That was just a fucking lucky ass guess. I hate the grandpa right now. I just met this motherfucker. So sorry, nature, I need wood. Okay, fuck the sap. That's what I need. Alright, Leo went back to his cabin. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm assuming shit doesn't fucking spawn here as often. Actually, shit, I could use the fibers. Ah yes, we have a shit ton of unnecessary food. Alright. What can I throw in here? That's an important thing. There we go. Just throw everything. Yes. Let's pray to God Krobus is taking care of the cat, but I have to use the bathroom. was like, why do I just see a bunch of emotes? I say that and then my phone goes off. Hello? Oh, I was like, when the fuck was there a storm? Alright, cool. Also, it's constantly sunny, like, summer in this island, so it's just nice to go. Cool. Leo! What are you doing, V? I need to change my name. Oh my god. Pondering the big questions. I don't understand that yet. Maybe when I come to Elder someday. Who the fuck are you? Ren? Tell me about the place you came from, your home. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Sounds nice. Are there other kids? Yes. I'm not killing the kid! He's like the only orphan! I know I'm not actually a bird. I'm like you, but I don't like thinking about it because I'm so alone. This kid has so much emotional trauma that I can't fucking let this kid die. Like I belong. But I don't belong. I don't belong anywhere. Who the fuck are you? Oh, it's Willy! Poor lad. Anyway, to help. Do I fucking care? Such a day. Oh, hey! Neat! If you ever feel queasy. That's actually true! Alright, but we are going to head back to the valley real fast. Because I need to go visit the wizard. Oh, hey. I know it's 20, but that's just to build the island resort back. Ready to start the valley? Yes. I broke the game. Oh no, I'm not supposed to be here. Whoopsie. Coconut. No, it was a giant. No, too much. Also, I found out what the fuck I did here. I accidentally skipped a cutscene. That was supposed to happen between someone. Either that or I got it. I just never paid attention. Every time I fucking check, you want something different. You want a taco now. Cool. I'm gonna murder someone. The amount of fucking ancient dolls I have is enough that I could probably build a voodoo garden if I wanted to. Also, yes, I'm playing with mods, which is why there's, like, so many different things. Yeah, still not my way back home. I'm not killing. Are my animals alive? Oh. 10. I don't even think I have that shit. Hello! Oh shit. Angry. Okay, continue being angry. I'm not killing things. I need to make this into seeds, I forgot. You damn pacifist. If this was Minecraft, that would be different. Like, I'd be not hesitating to stab things. But since this is a world I care about, yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking pacifist. Pet this scrunkly bitch. Only if it was warmer. Shit. Let me hug him! Let me hug the bitch, please. There we go. Oh my god. I didn't tell the wool. I left the arbor at the island. Whoopsie. Fuck the doll. I hate those things so much. skunkly baby. Fucked it all. I know it sounds bad, but honestly, fuck those fucking... I usually don't have a disdain for things, but those dolls are so fucking annoying to get. I'm on the way. Yes. Right. Oh my god. Funny enough, this is what my hair looks like now. Can you kill one thing, please? Sure. Let me go down the curve. There we go. Actually, wait, where's the non-binary child? There you are! Since it's free, I'm gonna open Spanish. Let me do fire magic. That could be severely dangerous. Do not let this kid do fire magic! Alright. Now we go. We'll kill something tomorrow, the night market's open. Also, yes, I stole Aerith's Spotify playlist. This is Leah's place. Down we go. There also is another mod I want to download. There's fucking... Here's Ray's partner that they always choose in this game. Maru! The child who I need to... Please? Hot chocolate? Yes! Yay! Oh no, it's coffee. Oh shit, Olivia! Hey! Plant for your charming greenhouse, Caroline. Oh. might buy a painting for this man in the fancy suit. There's Sophia. Hello. Melon seeds, tomatoes, peppers, radishes, star-spangled corn. My love. Oh, you are saving me all. You are a god. Sneaky. Okay, yeah, I already did get the mermaid thing from here before. I'm here to fish. Technically, will fishing count as me murdering something? Will that count? Will that count? There's an octopus you can get. Yes, because thing. Perfect. Also, I'm finally using Spotify. I need to add a widget. Oh my god. That like shows you what I'm listening to. There's one I have saved. But honestly, I've been thinking about changing like my entire setup. Bro. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I left the only bait I had. I'm pretty sure I left the only bait I had at the other place. Come here. Gotcha, bitch. You. Oh, hello. Why do you like me so much? My God. Squid likes you. Squid does like me. Did it figure out that I was a Scottish Minecraft kid? And it was just like, we're gonna torture you with squids because you followed a terrible person? I said that as a joke. The game is actually doing that to me. I know, it's 12 AM. Shut up. This game won't let you be insomniac. I mean, what happens if I pass out here? They can't do anything, right? Okay, fine. Yes. genuinely forgot who the fuck my, like, secret character, like, the Secret Santa character is. Give me that shit, please. Thank you. I'm not passing out and losing my shit. No, they can't. Go! Go, bitch! Go, bitch! Yes. Nice. You can't die in this game. If you get, like, injured, someone has to drag you back. You don't die in this game. That's Subnautica you're thinking about. Okay. Sweetheart. L game. You can leave. Man can't say jokes in Ohio. I can take a joke, I just don't like you offending a game I genuinely like. I have not spoken to any of the people I need to speak to. I also don't even run into, like, half these motherfuckers. Okay. You go in there. Orange Jam can go in. Where the fuck did I put the... Now the main question is, where the fuck did I put... Where the fuck did I put the seeds? You're coming with me. Don't question the insane amount of starfruit I have. I forgot what I have growing on the side. Animals can take a 1 day without pets. Saw you, bunny. Trees. Fuck. I went upside down. child. I'm not killing the child. The child has been through enough. Cool, it does give me hay. My god, there's a lot of things here. Come on, give me all of this. Need to feed the animals. I know the fucks will fucking eat me alive. One. This is literally just me getting re-familiar with this fucking game. That's what today is. I've already explored the ferry area enough. Oh, damn. I was like, let me slip through there. Nope, you can't do that, bitch. I'm on the opposite. Oh, hey. I'm on the opposite side, you bitch. Oh my god. All the ways I used to normally take are like now so much more harder to do. Caught his ass just in time. Oh fuck, he's busy. Take my affection. Take my affection, it's fucking waywards. Good sir, you have a tiny ass dick, no one needs to give a shit. Oh fuck, it's the wizard's birthday. Shh, it's fine, we don't care about the wizard. We do, but not at this moment. Care enough. There's Maru. I remember the one day I said, do people even come here? And then I literally got smacked with the kids being in here. are you here? Yo. Getting work done today. I'm not busy. I'm just literally gonna go, you know, throw myself into working in the cave. Never forget the day they had to replace his bong with a fucking, with a fucking vase. Lightus. We're actually skipping the night market today. You guys use elixirs? I'm not. From job, pseudo only combat mages myself. Discuss the details. We'll have a coffee. Yeah, the lore behind that flower hurts. Goddamn, where the fuck is this luck in the... Nope, I saw the ghost. Why are you sending my kid after me? Then they really sent the children after me. The slimes don't even hurt me. Why am I, like, trying to fight them? Oh! I was like, wait, what did I even put on this ring? I'll take it. I'm sorry, did a frog just come out of that crystal? Oh? I feel so bad. It isn't like Skull Cavern where it's like, it's fundamentally annoying as shit. Okay, I swear I was not being stupid. My scroll just would not scroll. cute things. I never noticed that there's a difference in like the fuck the fiber. Damn it. Okay, fuck the sap, I want that. Fuck it. See the time, game. I know the fucking, the thing is there. But now is not the time. It is get my happy ass inside the house. Come on, we gotta go. Get in the bed. Yes. Damn. I was about to say, I feel like I've known about the Friday one for the longest time. Because it's such like a Krobus thing. I know that was literally the last one. Mountains, beach. That entire chest is just filled with shit. My brain is going so slow. I literally saw the void essence and I didn't do anything. I can sacrifice that, it's fine. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Penny! I love Penny! Ancient fruit and wine. I was like, I know the longer you keep it in, like, the better it gets, but, fuck it, we're selling this right away. I need that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell those. That is for stuff. That works. Huh. Here you go, bitch. Here you go, fucks. Good. Mangoes! Oh, Leah loves he loves this shit. I'm taking the mangoes with me. Actually, I'm taking all the fruit with me. Why not? I do not care that there is an update for Adobe. I could give less of a fuck there is. Willy! Willy! Madam, I'm only having a good relationship with you just so that your kid can get the fuck out of your shitty ass house. Cause I have to upgrade my house, then I can do it to you. Cause you are a shitty parent! What's up, buckaroo? Oh damn, you can't kill them. I feel like we've discussed this, that you can't kill them, but oh well. Cool, we're back. Alright. Ooh. I don't think it's possible to hit that area from right there. Oh, hey, Nemo! Welcome to the club. Where's the kid? I know I already gifted him everything, but where is he? Because I only got 2 to my name. I only got 2. It's actually a good thing I brought the Geo Crusher with me, so then now I can crush these here. Hey, good sir. Buy you a mummified mummy. You are a godsend, and I love you. I'm pretty sure this is like just another like free Quarry-esque area, which I'll take because then I can get all this stuff. Oh, okay, so this is straight up just a mushroom area. Cool. So I have this plus the fruit bats. Nice. Journal scrap. I wish I was dead. Go. That's gonna take a while to render. Oh, hey, I got ginger. Actually, how much do I need? Harvest 100 ginger. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that in time. Cool. Wait. Is it possible? No. Damn. Come on, there's two. Oh, hey. You're here. I was trained in magical arts by my master, and you show some real potential. Looks like a pomegranate. I'm just giving this man all the food I have. Oh, and he's single. Oh, it's a liked gift. Perfect. I'm not afraid. I hate you so fucking much. Oh, wait, never mind. I did do it. Oh yes, welcome to the top of the volcano. Oh, fuck, I didn't bring any of those, but hey, fun fact, we can just go, both haunted and holy, in glory. I forgot you actually have to, like, open it from the other side every time you... I hate that. And you guide me. There we go. Move. You fucks don't do anything to me. Let me mind in peace. Fuck! Move. Of course there's another one. They're like the bats, but they're 50 times more fucking annoying. What is this? Wait, that's a dragon tooth. That's a dragon tooth. Get the fuck out of here. I want the tooth. Leave me the fuck alone. What can I get rid of? You don't do shit to me! Oh, hey. The fuck are you? Oh, shit! I got a totem tea here. Oof. I didn't notice that in the first... I'm so angry I didn't notice that in the first place. I'll sacrifice. Of course, one of you spawn. Come on, do this. Well, if I'm actively not afraid to call things bitches in this game. Good sir, I am in no mood to deal with your shit. I just came here so I can upgrade shit. Move out of my way. Oh, I've never been up here at nighttime. It'll give me 1 defense. Ooh. Yeah, never mind then. Pretty sure there was also one time I fucking threw a ring in here by accident. I like threw it into the lava, not paying attention. And okay. Good sir, it is nighttime. So it's called either Leo, Willy, or he is gonna get me if I end up passing out. We will see. It's because it's fucking been a while. I'm pretty sure I already broke this. Yep. Cool. Okay. Oh, deliver mail? I think I'm good, bestie. Yes. Sleep. what I can get. At least I didn't get rid of his paper that had everything on it. Thank God. So he's still here. That's nice to hear. That's nice to see. I know they like being grown near water. Okay. What was it, 10 for the trading post? And I have... Doesn't show me how many I have to my name. I have 4 to my name. Hello! I have donate. Purple flowers presented. Let's go 21. Damn. So it's not 18 or 21. Okay, so this is like the quarry. Alright, I gotta use the bathroom again. If something comes up. Alright, cool. Yeah, this is just like the other cave that we have. Nice, more hardwood. Where are you, my guy? Here you are. Take Pretender Call and good luck, adventure. There we go. Damn, I was gonna be really funny if you could fish him right there. He doesn't eat them. Damn, how high is my immunity if I'm like taking like less, like not a lot of damage from certain things? That was a crit. You don't do shit to me, slimes. You don't do shit and it's glorious. God. Hey. Nice. No, my child! My son! Ah! Look what they did to my kid! Yeah, I've learned just to break those. I fucking hate you. Holy shit. I saw it. Okay. Holy shit. Wait, no, they're cute! What the fuck? Okay, fuck the mud. Never mind. I'm living every cottagecore bitch's dream right now, just being in a mushroom field. I gotta stab the shit out of them. I don't even have a care right now. I literally just hit the dash button in a different game thinking that would do anything. No. Fuck me. To think I originally liked you fucks. It's to think I did. Up we go. God, I wish. I have 5. I don't need it right this instance. I genuinely forgot how many floors this is. It's too fucking quiet. I'm gonna regret saying that. It's over there. Oh, I was like, you do look different. You're fucking yellow. Bitch. This line almost fucking killed me. Are all of you here? Shit! Thank you, Magma Caps, for being a godsend. It's getting late. I don't care. I couldn't tell if he has a dash attack. Or okay, he does. Or if he fucking just paused. Don't care. I'm gonna pass out before I get there. Shit. I'll take the pineapple seeds over everything. Yeah, I'm gonna pass out. Damn it, I was right there too. Please don't take anything. Please don't take my pineapple seeds. I will actually be sad. Woo! Yes. Fine, take them. Who found me? He gave me a Maki roll. Oh my god. Put that right there for right now. You don't have any mail. My god. This game. Let's hope I actually remember to water them. That's say, knowing me, I'm gonna be forgetful as shit. Okay. make my life easier, I'm just gonna head straight to the top. Because I have an amethyst. I'm pretty sure he's also no longer here. Oh cool, it's just not raining up here, that's fine. Plus 10 to weight? Ew, that's disgusting. You know, if it makes it stronger, I'll take it. Yeah, even if I made it through that one point, I still would not have made it, because that's 9. Very cool. Very cool. Hey bestie, I got your mummified bat. Oh, you are a fucking lifesaver. Okay. Please report the number of purple flowers on the island. 23. Damn. I'm gonna keep guessing. I'm too lazy to fucking count. Because I know I'm gonna forget real fucking fast. Oh shit, hey. Okay. Anything else of high importance? Ginger. See, why can't I not just jump down? Do just a fucking eyeball. I might not be able to get back up, but, it'd be worth it. Hey, yo, Leo, I got your favorite. I got your favorite, bitch. Oh yes, fuck off creepy music that happens only when it rains. Let's get bananas for that. I'm sad today. Why? Come on, have fun. Let me be sad. That, you know what? I respect that. Give me a hint. 5 girl on the farm. What do you mean 5 girl on the farm? Oh! Damn it, I was about to be like, where's a thing? Don't know my directions. He's back on the highlands. How did I miss that? You've heard strange? 46. Actually, that's not bad that I've collected 46 out of 100. That is really not terrible. I see you. I see you, little buddy. It's winter. My animals are fine. They're being fed. Fucking tuna, really? Fuck the moans. Assuming she's inside. My brain's like, collect those. You have a full... My urge just to drop a bomb on him is high. Weird thing is, like, every time I do that, it works out fine, but my scroll wheel just stops working. It's like, nah, we ain't gonna go. It's always till the axe or the pickaxe, I noticed. It's kind of extra fucking weird. Ayo. What the fuck is the pink thing? So I need a melon, wheat, and garlic. Well, we gotta wait a while. Also, why do I feel like him and Ray would be fucking friends? Hello, yes, random ass noise. What do you want? What are you for? Parrot Express? Such is an easy way to take my ass home. Do not have the 10 for you. I don't have the 10! Oh yeah, fuck that. I can never do that. You fucks don't hurt me anymore. Glorious day that the slimes don't fucking hurt. Great fucking day. Got your ankles, bitch. the bad thing is I also can't see because my screen is so fucking dark. I can't see where the hell the rest of this goes. I can see that. Alright, there we go. I need to do this on a day where it's not raining. Also when it's not 7 p.m. This entire chest literally just got sacrificed as like the chest to throw shit in. Actually, give me all the fruit. I can put that in the fridge. I guess I just now remembered I have a fridge. Robin, I love you. Okay. Dude, I'm trying to find a way to get to this. Fuck off. Hello, sound. Does it normally get stuck there? That was not helpful. We're trying something. Okay, Mick. Oh. I'm not gonna question how the fuck I got there. We're not gonna question it. Hey! Hello, friend! Hi! I love that emote. Hi! Welcome! Welcome to the stream. Why the fuck are you awake? I just realized. You're in a different time zones than me. Why are you awake? Nah. Motherfucker, it's 3 a.m. Oh, it's... What day is it? It's Friday. It's Friday. Okay. Still, why are you awake? Dude, it's only 8:30. It's almost 9 for me. Why are you awake? Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm not usually this chaotic. Damn, okay. Damn, okay.
I roll with a crew of problematic bachelors, and we call ourselves the Squad.
Hello, hi. That made me jump. Hi, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. I actually jumped. I don't think I actually jumped. I forgot that's my fucking follower sound. Ah! Sorry about that. Nah, you're good. It keeps me on my toes. Oh, wait. I'm VIP? Yeah. Yeah, I get VIP to all my mutuals. All my friends / mutuals either get mod or VIP. Now you getting it. Where's the kid? Where's he at? Hidden Shrine in the main forest. I know the Hidden Shrine, 100%. Thank you! Thank you so much. Yeah, I just give it to all my mutuals because I'm just like, here's my appreciation. Not like 2 weeks from now coming back. I'm so excited. I'm happy you're coming back. Yeah, where's the kid? Hopefully I can reach you. As not, this does not happen, I will ruin his next stream. You'll have him, and then you'll have my friends just appear on stream being like, "Ayo, where's the VIP?" Thank you for the geodes. That's not. Oh, I don't know what I am. I've been thinking about doing early streams just one of these days, because as much as I love my time, it's just like it's stupidly insane how late I stream. No, where is he? I will 100% to get so just spam in chat. Bet. We'll have a clip and everything. I'm not looking up the answer to this riddle. What you talking about? $100% I'm not doing that. 100% I'm not doing that. 100% I just did not look up the answer. Holy shit! Ginger! Fuck! Oh my gosh. Why am I being ratioed in my own chat? What is this? Bro, give me the ginger and no one gets hurt. Hey, bestie! Hi. I did not absolutely look up the answer. I did not 100%. 2 likes. I 100% did not look up the answer. I 100% did not. There's no evidence. There's no proof. There's absolutely no evidence that I did. No one saw nothing. Nothing bad happened. Don't worry about it. This cave just fit. Okay. Nothing bad ever happened. No one saw shit. Please, give me something that is not just bones. Fuck. Please. I don't think you are needed, but we'll go see. Lurk. No one saw nothing. Thank you so much for the lurk. I have so many commands. Do you need this? No. Cool. I will. Thank you, Vibe. Thank you so much for following. How many stars? Thank you so much for the phone. I hope you have a good night/day. I saw that notification. I thought someone joined the Discord. No, it's just my Twitter. Ah! I'm not looking up the answer. Funny enough, I was gonna guess 18. Oh, damn. Damn. No, because... Okay, so I'm in, like, multiple of my school's Discord, and the one Discord keeps going off. So I'm just like, hello? Who is alive? Oh, the mod has returned. I'm guessing you're editing, Wayward. That's why you're not doing anything. Fair. Fair enough. Did I water my plants? Yes, I did. I swear, I'm not this stupid. Gonna do the trading post. Also, yes, meet Wayward, the head mod, aka the bitch. The single bitch. Oh, also, Bestie, have fun going back to the UK. You're gonna be jet-lagged as fuck. Leave. Where the fuck is this kid? I have to go back to Stardew Valley, because fucking celebration's happening. You. Oh, I found a frog. Of course I did. You! Got your favorite. Oh my god. What the hell? Just saw. What the hell? There we go. Yes, can you give me something that is not... What the fuck? I can't just come see this kid. This kid, I swear to God. This bitch. This motherfucker. This kid needs a hug. What's my relationship with the kid? 2 stars. 2 hearts. That's all I care about. I know I need to put fucking bananas in here. I don't know where the fuck to get them. How much you want to bet it's a trading post? Also, how many times is this VOD gonna get copyright strikes? Damn. Oh, it's fucking 10. God damn it. It's 10. Time to go stab some things. I don't have water. Thank God. Oh, because he can go through magma, because that makes absolute sense. You don't hurt me for shit. You don't hurt me for shit! Hello, I'm here to stab some of you fucks for like 10 golden nuggets. Oh. I'm incredibly angry. That actually worked. That was a joke. I'm in awe. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Ah! I saw what it gave me. I saw what it gave me. We have a bomb! We have a bomb! I'm gonna cause so much fucking unnecessary chaos in this fucking... Come on. Thank you. They gave me a bomb. They should not have given me a bomb. Oh god! Come on. No! Cool. Fuck. Broken kneecaps, bitch. Fuck! Ah! When did he start? When did he run? I have one source of food. These things need to keep my ass alive. I need you. I need it. Zoomy motherfucker. We go up. Oh, there's not a way around here. Oh, bitch! Oh, no. Okay. That should have gotten my ass last minute, but okay. Go. It's fine. It builds character. Get out of here! I don't care. Please, give me the coziness. Of course it doesn't. The game's like, you get that shit once and only once. You might get... Come on. If these motherfuckers are gonna give me free bombs, I'll take it. Run. I was about to be like, huh, this is the longest time I have not had to yell at YouTube to play my music. It's because I have Spotify running. And everything is running so much more nicer. I don't... Fuck you. Oh, of course you fucks aren't gonna be friendly. You are every cottagecore bitch's, like, best dream. Yet again, you a bitch. Apparently I got space. I'm not even gonna worry about it. You're not real. You're not real, go fuck yourself. I'll take it. Huh? Fuck the journal, scrap! How much is it? Walnut, exit shortcut? No. I need the other shortcut, though. That'd be fucking amazing. A human who speaks our language. I'm impressed. Yeah, I can take the other guy. No, fuck you! Fuck you and your mother! Fuck you and everything your mother ever gave it to you. Your mother does not love you. Your mother does not care for you. You are just a bitch. I was so unnecessarily aggressive with that. But no, fuck you, fuck you. No one likes you, no one loves you, no one ever appreciates you. That's why you get the that's why you get the dash, bitch. I chose violence today. People came in my chat and I chose violence. I swear, I'm not usually like this. Just this game likes to sometimes brain out my violence. Especially these flames looking ass motherfucker. I just need to get a shit ton of magma caps. That's what I need to collect in my life. I will never understand why the other guy ran at me at full speed like he wanted me dead, but okay. I'm at the top. We're at the top. This is gonna be a world of pain. Am I stuck? Oh my god, I'm stuck. Oh wait, no I'm not. It's probably not the way to go. got 4 hours to beat the shit out of you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they gave me a route that I'm unable to get. Oh. There we go. Oh, is this just a fucking game of guess the fucking right button? This is what this game is today? No! Fuck you! Fuck you and your mother! No one- Fuck both of you. So when no one loves you, this is why you give shitty ass drops. Again, I swear, I'm not usually this violent when it comes to this game, but sometimes this game, ooh. Sometimes this game tests my fucking patience. Soon that opens it. Okay, cool. Is there any teeth here? Damn. That was almost actually incredibly bad. Called it. Get the fuck out of here. No. You a bitch. You a hoe. I hate you. I hate you and your parents. I hate you and your mother. You are no good ass bitch. Who has done nothing but make my life a living fucking hell. Who the fuck are you? Hello? Okay, he just a motherfucker who vibes. I can respect the vibe. When the fuck did these spawn? You know what? You, good sir, can very much suck my left nut. Oh, we're not gonna make it. Good sir, I've come in here, I'm gonna pass out. I'm just gonna let it happen. I was not gonna make it back. I'd rather be safe than fucking sorry. There we go. Oh damn, I lost money. I forget every time you pass out you lose money. Cool, it's raining. Sadly, we have to head back because it's about to be Christmas. I know you're 20. I have 8 to my name. It's fine. I will get them in very weird, obscene ways. Hello, Starfish. I hit skip. You bitch. I hit skip. You bitch. It is an ungodly 6 a.m. Penny likes melons, poppies, diamonds, and emeralds. Well, I think I have a shit ton of diamonds somewhere. What are these things? One of these, like, runs. Hey. This job is pretty... Do I have a coffee? Nope. Never mind. Wait, I can go bully Gus. Actually, wait, no, there's an easy way to go bully this man. It's an easier way. Let me, fuck, I can stay here for an hour. I was about to be like, please tell me no one, you know, sub to the YouTube. That shit's kind of a shit show at the very moment. The birds actually scared the shit out of me. The birds successfully scared the shit out of me. I wish I knew you were here. Let me in. Let me in, bitch. It's a bad habit. I'm so angry. Oh, hey, Olivia likes that. I'm actually angry about that. Shit I've gotten before. I'm okay with that. The dwarf will care about this. Heyo, friend. I did. When we all found out we couldn't date this, he loves golden pumpkins. Of course he does. Forgot he does. I was gonna give this to Olivia, but... That was a guess! Doesn't think of anything to donate. Good sir, please. Please. Please, I swear. I've been doing all of that. $80 hardwood for unknown recent populations. No, because I hate fishing for squid in this game. Hey. Emily. I think my hair's frozen solid. Understandable. I love how there's is like this no speculation of like the farmer can be gone for days on end, just like in a different place and no one questions. Well, I'm assuming since we went with Willy, like everyone's just like, oh, they're on like a fishing thing. It's just like, excuse me, like, are we not gonna question where the farmer goes religiously? And underneath that, I'm so angry these aren't stacking in the way that I want them to. Scrunkly. That's not even the name of the cat. It's named Whiskey. But I just love calling her Scrunkly. Can I put Ginger in here? Just like out of curiosity? I can. Don't know what that's gonna make, but we'll see. Yeah, I generally figure out what the fuck's growing there. If it's bananas, we're in luck. But I am 100% positive that's not it. I have 16 hardwood. I love you so. Please let me go. No, it's gonna go in here. Just because I know it can give me everything. Alright, we're gonna throw that there just because, but this one's gonna become aged. Is that an apple tree that's growing? I fell when you shattered my soul. Is that the fucking apple tree? Yeah, it's the apple tree. Sad day. Sad day, I'm just now realizing I never grew an apple tree. You don't question the shrine. As much as I would love to extort the mayor for money, I'd like to keep some of my integrity. Oh. Oh no. I missed the mystic trait, whatever the fuck her name is. Forgot the wandering trader. Yeah, I was like, I have enough diamonds where I can give one a penny. It's not like I own fucking 14 of these bitches. Okay, let me actually go organize everything. Now, let me see if I can remember what these chests are. This is the fruit chest. Oh yeah, those can go in there. Technically they're seeds. This is like the food slash seed chest. I left the totem set over there. Shit. That's furniture. I need to keep these. Where the fucking... Wrong chest. The bones go in there. Oh my god. So I have magic bait, and then where the fuck is the thing I had? I just slapped myself in the face. I have the curiosity and then I have the magic bait. I just need to go fix this, and we are in all things good. Makes a hat. Is it gonna make me... Oh, it hides the hair, but I think that is really cute. As much as I like this. Isn't this the one-sided shirt I have? He made me a lucky lunch? This motherfucker! I love him! I've been streaming for 2 hours, do I? Yeah. I'll save, because I'm getting sleepy. Oh! Okay. I need to fish more in this game. Alright, let's see. Ah, damn it. Alright. Who to raid? I was gonna raid Eric, but... Let me actually need to refresh my Twitch so I can see everything lined up in order and not seeing how someone who has 4+ K views is at my very bottom. Alright, now. There we go. Much as I love the recommended, sometimes it's just not working. Wait, hold up, wait, what? Hold up, I might just change the entire... I just typed in the... Wait, hold up. When is this? Oh, it's live right now. Hold up. Why am I just now learning that this shit... Hey, I have the video. I have the video for tomorrow. Or I have the... Wait, what's tomorrow? Saturday? Fuck. I have the stream idea for Sunday. The Mandala catalogs just upload. Okay, hi. Stream broke for a second. Okay. Let me go browse. Sorry. quick distraction. That just... Okay. Interesting. No, I think you guys deserve some Minecraft people. Oh my god, when did Diversity 3 come out? Like, my brain just goes, when did this happen? It's gonna scream at me seeing how many times this video got muted. I'm surprised that not all of it's gonna be. Oh hey, there's someone Wayward follows. No, I will save that time. Someone is doing someone was doing a subathon, but I think it just ended. Alright, never mind. You know what, fuck it, let's just go raid Aerith. Fuck it, why not? I was gonna raid someone else, but they ended stream. We're not gonna talk about what happened yesterday. Wayward, I know you witnessed that shit. We're not gonna talk about it. Yeah, that was a shit show in itself. I hate you. But yeah, I will not be streaming tomorrow. It's the D&D day, and I appreciate my D&D time. But yeah, Sunday we're gonna see the Mandela catalogs.